Have you ever noticed how some women do not flirt in an obvious way? Instead, they quietly check your awareness, especially when you are a man over 50. Women behave differently around you. They do not want to look needy. They do not want to appear too available. So instead of being direct, they ask certain things. And here's what most men never realize. A woman who feels attracted to an older man will almost always ask two very specific questions. It is like a message hidden in plain sight. Before I share them, do me a small favor. Tap the like button and leave a comment if you have ever missed a woman's signal and only understood it much later. Your engagement helps this reach more men who truly need to hear it. Many men over 50 believe they are invisible to women, whether younger women or even women their own age, but the truth is very different. Mature men are often more attractive than ever when they finally understand how women think. The real issue is not women at all. It is misunderstanding. It is moving through life thinking she was just being friendly when she was actually opening a door for you. Women rarely show interest openly. They test your emotional calm, your presence, and your ability to notice subtle details. Feminine psychology works quietly and indirectly. And when a woman begins to see you as someone she could trust emotionally, physically, and intimately, her energy changes. Her conversation shifts from casual talk to intentional curiosity. She begins asking questions, is designed to reveal three things: your strength as a man, whether you are grounded or insecure, your emotional and practical availability, and your awareness, meaning whether you can recognize real interest when it appears. This is exactly when the two key questions show up. To understand why these questions matter so much, you need to understand the psychology behind them. Many men over 50 expect clear and obvious signals because they grew up in a time when people spoke more directly. But women today, even mature women, express attraction in a different way. They do not say, I am attracted to you, I want to get closer, I am thinking about you romantically. Instead, they explore, they feel first. Women often ask carefully chosen questions to see if you are a man they can move toward without risking rejection. Here is the quiet feminine fear, especially with older men. If she shows interest too clearly, she worries he will think she is needy or desperate. So she hides her attraction inside curiosity. She places it inside questions that look harmless to a man who is not paying attention. And if you miss them, she usually will not repeat the invitation. Women rarely offer the same emotional opening twice. Feminine psychology is layered and subtle. Women use questions the way men use actions. When a man is drawn to someone, he offers help, direction, protection, or support. When a woman is drawn to someone, she asks a question that gently hints at closeness. There are many questions a woman might ask in daily life, but only two appear again and again when she is carefully exploring intimacy with a mature man. I will share them shortly, but first, understand something important. She is not asking because she is trying to invade your life. She asks because she wants to feel your emotional warmth. She wants to sense, is he calm? Is he steady? Is he open to my energy? Does he stand confidently in his masculine? Or does he hide behind politeness? These questions are not about gathering information. They are about connection. They create a small emotional pull between you and her. Think of them as bridges she places gently to see whether you step forward with presence. And when you do, something shifts inside her, both mentally and physically. Most men answer these questions at face value, but a wiser, more grounded man hears what is underneath her words, because when she asks them, she is not collecting facts. She is checking alignment. She is checking awareness. She is checking whether you are the kind of man who notices what lies beneath the surface. When a woman feels drawn to you, she does not need you to show off money, strength, or impressive stories. She needs to feel that you are present, conscious, and emotionally steady. These two questions matter because they are not random curiosity, they are invitations. The first question she asks a man she desires is meant to reveal one thing: your availability. Not your schedule, but your heart. She wants to sense whether your life has emotional space for her. This is not a practical question. It is a psychological one. It is her way of asking, Are you open or closed? Can you connect or are you hiding inside routines? Can I move closer without feeling pushed away? Women do not like wasting energy. So they test for openness before they reveal deeper interest. This first question is her version of a man leaning slightly closer to see whether a woman leans in or pulls back. But most men miss it because they think she is just making conversation. The second question she asks when she wants intimacy is about your direction, not your job or your career goals, but your inner direction. She wants to know if your life has purpose, movement, and masculine stability. Women do not open to men who drift. They open to men who are anchored, men who know who they are and where they stand. This question helps her feel, is this man emotionally alive? Does he carry stability? Can I feel safe in his presence? Does he have boundaries, or is he just floating through life? The second question is not about details, it is about your core. When she asks it, she is already imagining what being close to you might feel like. A woman may feel physical, attraction, but she only moves closer when she desires your presence. This question becomes her doorway into sensing the man you truly are. These questions are especially important for men over 50. By this stage of life, many women assume something about you. They believe you have already lived most of your emotional chapters, so they hesitate to step into your world unless they feel sure they will matter. These two questions, soft, simple, and almost invisible, are her way of checking whether there is space for her and whether the man she feels drawn to is living with purpose or just passing time. You might ignore compliments, you might overlook body language, but if you miss these two questions, you miss the moment she is opening a door, and once that door closes, most women do not open it again. When a woman wants intimacy with an older man, not just friendly conversation, but real emotional and physical closeness, she tests the connection with two specific questions. These questions appear across cultures, ages, and backgrounds because they come directly from feminine psychology. Here they are. The first question is, do you spend a lot of time alone? It sounds innocent, but it is not. It is her way of asking, is there room? Is there space for me in his world? Is he open or emotionally closed? Is he available or locked into habits? Women ask it in many forms. Do you usually go out alone? Do you keep to yourself? You seem like someone who enjoys solitude. Is that true? Are you seeing anyone or just doing your own thing lately? This question is never about loneliness. It is about access. A woman asks it only after she has already imagined herself somewhere in your life. She wants to know whether you are emotionally welcoming or unavailable. If she felt nothing for you, she would not care how you spend your time. But when she feels drawn to the calm and stability many mature men carry, she wants to know if she can enter your world without forcing herself into it. Most men answer this too literally. Yes, I'm alone a lot. Not really. It depends. But a grounded man hears what she is really asking. She is checking your openness. She is testing your availability. She wants to know if closeness with you is possible. To respond in a way that builds attraction, stay calm, balanced, steady, and open, never needy. You can say something like, I enjoy my space, but I'm always open to good company. Or I like my routines, but I'm open to someone who adds something meaningful. This does two things. It shows emotional openness without desperation, and it gently suggests that she could be someone you might allow into your life. This tone is exactly what women respond to. Open but not empty, receptive but not needy, strong without being cold. When you answer this way, she feels warmth, possibility, and emotional safety, and that naturally leads her to the second question, the one that reveals her deeper interest. The second question is, what are you looking for these days? This question is never casual. It is never small talk. It is a woman exploring you as a romantic possibility. If she felt nothing for you, she would never risk asking something so personal. It feels exposed. It feels intimate. Women save this question for men they see as meaningful. She might phrase it differently. What do you want in your life right now? What direction are you moving toward? What are you focusing on these days? What do you want at this stage of life? What are you hoping to find? Women ask this second question to understand your inner direction. For a woman to open emotionally or physically to a man, she needs to feel that his life has purpose, clarity, and stability. Especially a mature man, she needs to feel something meaningful. She needs to sense that he understands who he is. He knows what he wants. He is not drifting through life without direction. He is not trapped in old emotional patterns. He is not simply passing time. He moves with purpose. This kind of question helps her understand one thing clearly. Is this man's life moving in a direction where I could walk beside him with trust, safety, and emotional leadership? Does he have emotional purpose, physical purpose, and relational purpose? Is he the kind of man I could safely open my heart to? Men who answer too literally often do not realize they are quietly ruining the moment. When a man says, "I'm just looking for peace," or "I'm taking it day by day," or "I'm not really sure right now," she hears something very different. She hears uncertainty, she hears drifting, and women do not emotionally invest in men who drift, no matter how old they are. If you want to respond with masculine clarity, you do not need a long story. You do not need to explain your entire past. You only need direction. You can say something like, "I'm building a calmer, stronger chapter of my life with the right people," or "I'm looking for a connection that feels natural, not forced," or "I'm focused on living with intention, meaningful experiences, and depth." These kinds of answers do three important things. They show you are moving forward, not stuck. They show emotional clarity, that you know what you want, and they quietly open a space where she can imagine herself fitting into your direction. This is very powerful for a woman. It gives her the signal she hopes for, proof that you are emotionally awake, not just going through the motions of life. Because here's something most men over 50 never fully understand. Women want a man who is alive inside, not just physically present, not just available, but emotionally awake and grounded. These two questions are deeply connected to female desire. And here is why women do not test men randomly. They test based on emotional readiness. When she asks, "Do you spend a lot of time alone?" she is measuring your openness. When she asks, "What are you looking for these days?" she is measuring your direction. The logic behind this is simple. A man who is emotionally open and moving with purpose creates attraction. He becomes someone she feels drawn toward emotionally. Women do not need perfection, they need clarity. Clarity creates safety, and safety is what awakens desire. This is why these two questions appear again and again across different ages and situations. Even when a woman does not consciously understand why she is asking them, the emotional instinct is still there. Picture this in a real-life moment. You are talking with a woman, maybe in a cafe, a bookstore, at a friend's home, or even online. The conversation flows easily. There is comfort, a soft tension. She laughs a little more than necessary. She adjusts her hair. She looks at you with warmth and curiosity. Then suddenly she asks, "So, do you spend a lot of time alone?" This is her first emotional step toward you. This is her opening the door slightly. If you respond with presence and calm confidence, she feels encouraged. If you answer with confusion, defensiveness, or emotional shutdown, the energy drops instantly. Later, minutes, or even days later, she asks, "What are you looking for these days?" This is her second step. This is the moment where she decides whether she should go deeper emotionally or pull back. If you answer with clarity, she feels possibility. If you answer with uncertainty, she retreats. Many men believe these moments are random. They are not. They are emotional checkpoints. And women almost never ask these two questions to a man they feel nothing for. These questions only come when there is interest. Here is something you must never forget. A woman who wants intimacy will not say it directly. She will not confess it openly. She will not push herself onto you. Instead, she will ask two questions. Are you emotionally open? Do you spend a lot of time alone? And are you emotionally alive and intentional? What are you looking for these days? These questions are not really about your plans, they are about your energy. When you recognize them, you step into the moment with awareness. When you miss them, the moment fades quietly. Women rarely offer the same emotional invitation twice. When they open a door, it usually happens only once. If you remember just one thing, let it be this: a woman does not test your words, she tests your presence and awareness. If you learn to recognize the questions she uses to signal attraction, you will stop guessing whether a woman is interested in you. Before you go, help this channel grow. Comment the phrase, "I see the signs below," to show you understood the message and are ready to use it. Your engagement helps this message reach more men who truly need it. Women communicate attraction in ways that are subtle, emotional, and often invisible to men who expect obvious signals. This becomes even more important for mature men because women see older men differently than younger ones. They expect more depth, more emotional presence, and more clarity. A younger man can be confused or inconsistent and still be seen as figuring himself out. But a man over 50 is viewed through a different lens. Women assume he has lived enough life to know who he is and what he wants. That is why their interest shows up through emotional signals rather than obvious gestures. When a woman asks questions that touch your openness or direction, she is not just gathering information, she is trying to feel your emotional world. She wants to know if stepping closer to you will feel safe, warm, and meaningful. This idea connects deeply with how women experience special moments like Christmas. Christmas is not about what you give. It is about how deeply you see her, how fully you engage with her, and how intentionally you make her feel valued. Christmas is not only about gifts, lights, or traditions. It is about presence, connection, and the quiet ways we help someone feel seen, appreciated, and loved. For many women, the holiday stirs emotions more intensely than any other time of the year. Memories, hopes, and expectations all mix together, creating an emotional space that feels both beautiful and vulnerable. If you truly want to touch her heart during Christmas, it is not about spending a lot of money or making dramatic gestures. It comes down to three simple but powerful things that communicate understanding, care, and emotional closeness. The first is deep listening, not just hearing her words, but feeling the emotions behind them.